San Juan is a tableau building and role selection game with a lot of really interesting mechanics. During the game, you'll be choosing a role that will either allow you to construct buildings or will allow you to get access to more buildings that you might construct. There are three different types of buildings in the game. Production buildings, which can make a resource and store a resource. City buildings, which don't have an effect on the gameplay itself, but are worth points at the end of the game. And city buildings, which do have an effect on the gameplay. At the top of each card is a construction cost, and at the bottom, in the red hex, is a victory point value. And in the center of the card, there's text that tells you how the card affects gameplay, or how many points it will be worth at the end of the game, based on other cards that you have. Each round, whoever is the governor is the first one to choose a role. They get to take the action and the privilege. After that, everyone else gets to follow up taking just the action. Once everyone's taken the action for the role that the governor selected, then the next player will choose a role. They'll do the same thing. They'll take the action and the privilege, and then everyone else follows up with just the action. And that keeps going until everyone has chosen one of the roles. Not all the roles are going to be used every round. The builder is the most important role in the game. It's the only thing that allows you to construct buildings, and buildings are what get you victory points and what trigger the end of the game. The producer allows you to actually grow a good on one of your production buildings. And the trader allows you to sell any goods you've already produced based on the current price in the trading house. The counselor and the prospector both allow you to draw cards. The way cards are used in this game is really unique. Let's say this is your hand. If you want to construct a building that costs 4, you'll have to discard any 4 other cards from your hand, leaving just 1. Another way that cards can be used is placed on production buildings to signify a good is there. Setup for this game is really easy. All you need is 1 indigo plant per player. Everything else gets shuffled up into the main draw deck. All the roles are available, and you choose somebody to be the governor. They'll be the first one to choose a role. So a few turns into a 3-player game, this is what it'll look like. Players will have been choosing roles, constructing buildings, and adding them to their tableau. And as soon as the 3rd player finishes, they'll put the roles back and pass the governor to the next person. The game is over after someone builds their 12th building. You'll add up all the victory points on the bottom, including any victory points that you get for special conditions. The goods don't count for points, but they can be a tiebreaker. If you like San Juan, then there are expansions which add more city cards and some variability to the game. And there are a lot of other great games that share the same role selection and tableau building mechanics.